Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new movie review, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the 1993 movie Schindler's List. Bit of controversy around this one here, so let's get into it. Okay, so as the story goes, I've never seen Schindler's List. Okay, now about 8 months ago, I think it was, I'd done a video called One I Switched Off because I attempted to watch this film and turn it off about 30 minutes in because I was bored. I know, sacrilege saying that, isn't it? I wasn't in the mood for the film. Okay, basically, that's all it boils down to. That's what it boiled down to. I wasn't in the mood for it. I was sat there watching it and I was bored crapless. I just weren't in the mood. Now, that can happen to any film that I put in. It can happen to my favourite film of all time if I'm not in the mood. That being said, I have read the book by Thomas Keneally, 1982's Schindler's Ark, upon which this is based, and that was for history at school and things like this. So I've done a bit of work on it back in the day. Anyway, so here we are with Schindler's List. This film came out in 1993. For us here in the UK, came out on February 18th, 1994, with a 15 rating and a runtime of 3 hours and 15 minutes. As already said, based upon the book by Thomas Keneally from 1982, with a screenplay by Stephen Zalian. Music in the film was done by John Williams. The film cost $22 million to make and went on to gross $322 million at the worldwide box office. It was nominated for 12 Academy Awards, winning 7, including Steven Spielberg's first ever win as Best Director. And it got Best Picture as well. Liam Neeson nominated for Best Actor, etc. Now, the film stars Liam Neeson as Oscar Schindler, Ralph Fiennes as Aaron Goth, Ben Kingsley as Itzhak Stern, and a wealth of other actors. The film is set in German-occupied Poland during World War II, obviously, where you have industrialist Oscar Schindler. He starts becoming concerned for the Jewish population after he sees their persecution by the Nazis. And thusly, he goes on to save a lot of people. Anyway, that's the gist of the story. So finally I sat down and watched this film. Why did I sit down and watch it? Well, it was down to and because of YouTube algorithms. So there I was on YouTube about 2 weeks ago, and in the shorts on YouTube, like it does, it was just throwing at me loads of clips from Schindler's List. And I was watching them and I thought, okay, you got me in the mood. Okay, so I sat down and I watched it. The wife was out, she was at work. I watched this film, 3 hours and 15 minutes. So what did I think? Yes, it's a fantastic film. It's a brilliant film. It's brilliantly directed, it's brilliantly acted, it's brilliantly shot. I can't deny any of that. I think that the film sort of pulled back on how evil Ralph Fiennes' character actually is in reality, based upon stuff. If you have a look at him, he was a lot worse than what the film portrays him to be, and the film portrays him to be bad. There is no entertainment value in this film. Do you know what I mean? You're not entertained by it. It's a historical lesson, and in that it holds a lot of power. You know, to actually visually see and understand how inhumane the Jewish population were treated. You know, it beggars belief that you know, this sort of thing went on and still goes on in places around the world today. It's disgusting. It truly is. The film didn't have an emotional impact on me. I mean, yes, it was shocking. Yes, it made me think about what these people went through and all this sort of a thing. But I didn't come away upset. I didn't come away in tears, as maybe some people may have done. As a case in point, a case of comparison. When I watch something like Band of Brothers, that yes is based upon these true people that were in the war, and when you get to the end of that TV series, and you've got the old people, the genuine, the real people that it's based upon, and you see what happened to them and all this sort of stuff, it chokes me up. This didn't do that. Even at the end, when they were visiting the grave of Oscar Schindler, there was a lot of emotion in the scene at the end where Oscar Schindler is saying that, if I'd sold this car, it could have saved this many more people. If I'd sold the badge that I'm wearing, and it shows a sort of how cheap a value that the Nazis put upon human life and this sort of a thing, when it could be saved by this cost. There was this kind of reverence to that kind of that scene, that stuff there, and that was great. And the guilt that you felt from him at that point was amazing. I will say that. So this is a film that is fantastic. It's a film that I can't fault in any way, shape, or form. It's not a film that I would visit again anytime soon, unless for its historical significance, unless I was showing it to someone saying, this is what it was, just take a look at this, that sort of a thing. It's not something I would say one evening, fancy, honey, do you fancy sitting down watching Schindler's List? No. So in that respect, but as a historical document to what happened, fantastic. So there we go. I thought I'd put this one to bed finally, and there you have it. So I'm going to leave it there. This is AJ. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.